Good morning. I'm here on our second day of U Week, and I wanted to say hi to everybody. I get emails and videos from certain kids a lot more than other kids. So if you are out there and you haven't heard your name in a while, I love you too, you know. Let's see. I did get emails with both pictures and videos from a few kids. I got some pictures of Ishi drawing her mat person and a picture of her mat person when it was all done. She looked a lot like the little girl that I drew in my video on Friday. And I got an email with a picture and videos pictures and a video of Joanna learning about light and how it shines through some things completely and other things just a little bit and other things not at all. So she made, I don't know if you would call them slides. She made things. Some were clear, which means transparent, or one was transparent. One let some of the light through. That's called translucent. And one of them blocked all the light. And that's called opaque. I also got pictures from Henry, and he made a big poster about the letter U, which we just met yesterday. And he'd made U's with markers and with paint daughters. I wonder if any of the rest of you have those at home. We had those in our classroom where you can make dot, 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 dot with the paint. And he did lots of colors, letter U, using his paint daughters, and he cut out some kids to glue onto his poster, like a kid with an umbrella. So it was a really nice poster. But I miss the rest of you. I haven't seen Isabel in a while. I haven't seen, let's see, I haven't seen Hannah or Lily. I see Lily on Facebook though. Her mom's active on Facebook. And Elna I haven't seen in a while. I should have had a list to make sure I don't forget anybody. Those are the kids whose last names start at the beginning of the alphabet. There's so many of you I miss and I love. So I will try to start naming more names every day, even if I don't get emails from you. Okay. Let's move on with our day. I'm going to fold my hands and close my eyes and bow my head. Dear God, thank you for another day. Thank you that we're safe in our houses. Thank you for mommies and daddies and brothers and sisters and the other people we get to be with right now, since we don't get to be with as many people as usual. Please bless all the kids in our class and continue to keep them healthy and safe, and their families as well. And bless our day ahead. Give us a good day. Help us to keep learning and keep doing all those good 4-year-old things. In Jesus' name, amen. Let's practice our Bible verses. A friend loves at all times. Proverbs 17:17. A friend loves at all times. Proverbs 17:17. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth, Genesis 1:1, Genesis 1:1. Give thanks to the Lord, for he is good. His love endures forever. Psalm 118, verse 1. Give thanks to the Lord, for he is good. His love endures forever. Psalm 118, verse 1. For a child will be born to us, Isaiah 9, verse 6. For a child will be born to us, Isaiah 9, verse 6. Who is the child? Jesus. And did he stay a child? No. Jesus grew, grew, grew. Jesus grew, grew, grew. In body and in wisdom. Jesus grew, grew, grew. Jesus grew, grew, grew. In body and in wisdom. Luke 2:52. We love because he first loved us. We love because he first loved us. We love, we love, we love because he first loved us. 1 John 4:19. God loved the world so much that he gave his only Son. God loved the world so much that he gave his only Son. God loved the world so much that he gave his only Son. God loved the world so much that he gave his only Son. John 3:16. Okay. Trust in God, trust also in Jesus. John chapter 14, verse 1. Trust in God, trust also in Jesus. John chapter 14, verse 1. And that's our new one, so we'll do it one more time. But I think you're getting it because I've already gotten some videos of kids singing it. Here we go. Trust in God, trust also in Jesus. John chapter 14, verse 1. Trust in God, trust also in Jesus. John chapter 14, verse 1. Okay, we started off right with prayer and Bible. Let's see what else we have. Let's look at the calendar and figure out what today is. Here's our calendar. And then we need to add this one on today. It looks like a 2 and then a 1. 2 next to a 1. Some of you might already know what that is. I hope so. Let's look at the calendar after I get this glued on. Here's my glue stick. Oh, I really miss you, and I miss getting to see you up close and real and give you all hugs. Okay, here we are. Someday, kids will be sticking calendar pieces on themselves again and getting to point to the numbers themselves. But here's the new one, that's today. And we will look up, up, up for the day of the week. There it is. It starts with T, 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 T. Now let's sing the days of the week. There are 7 days, there are 7 days, there are 7 days in a week. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. What was this one? It started with T, 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 T. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Today is Tuesday. Okay, Tuesday, and then we say our month, and that's the big word at the top of the calendar. It starts with A. January, February, March, and April, May, June, July, and August, September, October, November, December. These are the months of the year. Now I know that by this time in the month, there are kids who are thinking, I know what month it is. We've been there for 3 whole weeks. And there are kids who still don't know which month it is. Here it is. Starts with A, and that's the sound that the A makes in that word. And let's think about our months again. January, February, March, and April. April. It is April. Okay. It is Tuesday, April. And now we count our numbers. This calendar is starting to look a little bit funny because it has all these big numbers since we've been using this calendar on our videos, and then just little numbers from the first part of the month. But you can still see them. This calendar is much better than when I was using the iPad. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 2021. If we put it all together, today is Tuesday, April 21st. Instead of saying 21, we say 21st. So today is April, Tuesday. Oh goodness, that's not the way you say it. Today is Tuesday, April 21st, 2020. Tuesday, April 21st, 2020. And it's a skill to learn where you look on the calendar for what, isn't it? Because look at how my finger jumps around. Tuesday, April 21st, 2020. It doesn't make all that much sense, but you can learn it because you're smart and your brains are all set up to learn. God made your brains that way. So you learn things really well, and I'm really proud of you for that. Okay, 21 was our number for today. Let's do some practice counting. Let's count in a very pretty mommy voice. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. And now let's talk in a little kid voice like that, like a little baby brother or sister. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Now that's very silly because a kid who still talks like that, a little baby, can't count to 21. You have to be big, right? You have to be about 4 to be able to count to 21. Okay, now we're going to talk like a great big daddy voice and count to 21 again. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Okay, you can practice counting in lots and lots of ways. Count things you have at home, count crayons, count Legos, count dolls, count blocks. You have things you can practice counting. You can count with my videos. You could count with a calendar that you have at home. You could count with a counting book. You could count with a video on YouTube that's to help kids count. By the end of my class, it's good for kids to be able to count to 20. We do usually count until the end of the month, so we sometimes practice all the way up to 31. But as I look at my plan books for what I usually do this time of year, it's time when I'm starting to pull kids out in the hallway to see how high they can count. So if there's a grown-up listening to this video, see how high your kid can count and help them if they still need some help to get up to 20. Some kids can even count to 100 at this age. So see how high you can count. That's the calendar, and that's some counting practice. Okay. After calendar, we know April is in the spring, and in the spring we get weather that's going from the cold winter to the hot summer, and today's a great example because it's cold in the morning and it'll be cold again tonight, but it's going to be kind of warm in the middle. And in the springtime we get a lot of water to help everything start growing again, a lot of rain. So right now where I am, it's still sunny, but the forecast, the scientists who study weather say that there are rain clouds coming our way, so it should rain a lot in the middle of the day. No rain in the morning, no rain around dinner time, but lots of rain in the middle. So I hope you get outside before or after the rain, or maybe both. Okay, and it's supposed to be nice and warm in there if we can get out there after the rain, okay? Or maybe between rain, I don't know. On Tuesday, we don't have any specials, so we get to fit lots of good schoolwork in. And let me see what I brought over for you. Remember that it is U week. Here's Miss U. She's a letter light. Letter lights are such special letters because every word has at least one letter light. I'm thinking of the word up, right? Because her unusual umbrella helps her go up. Well, up is only 2 letters, but one of them is U. I wonder if you can hear what the other letter is. Right? That's the U sound. Up. Up. Can you hear it? Up is just 2 letters. It's U-P. I will write it for you. Here I have a board with paper on it. Let's see. And here I have a marker. And I will write U-P. That says up. I could put another letter in front of that. I could make k, up, cup, cup. You hear the different sounds? There's a k at the beginning, which could be a K or a C. It's actually a C. K, up, cup, cup. We're at the point that some kids can read simple words like that. I hope you're working on it. The best way to learn to read is to have people read to you a lot and to practice your letters a lot. So here is the letter U. Down, curve, up. That's our letter for the week. But when you know enough letter lights, you can make words. Another thing that I would be checking on if we were getting to pull one kid at a time out in the hallway and talk and chat about what you've learned this year, I would be checking to see that everybody knows the alphabet. So let's sing it. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. Now I know my ABCs. Next time, won't you sing with me? It's so important to know all the letters because the letters are what you put together to make words and learn to read. And when you can read so many wonderful stories. I love to read. That's a big part of why I'm a teacher. I love to read. I love books for little kids. I love books for medium-sized kids, and I love books for grown-ups. I love books. And the very best book of all is the Bible. And if you can read the Bible and learn more about God and how much He loves you. Let's see what else I have for you today. Oh, on Tuesdays, we usually do Wet, Dry, Try. So let's do Wet, Dry, Try together. Okay, here's my iPad. And here's the Wet, Dry, Try app.
Handwriting without tears.
Let's see. There we go. Get started. I just told them I'm a student. Those are the uppercase letters. And we'll do letter U today.
Let's try the letter U.
Hey, umbrellas.
First, watch me write the letter. U starts in the starting corner. Big line
Right by the
down,
smiley face.
turn, across the bottom, up. Now, wet the letter with a sponge.
Oh, there's the sponge. Okay. Down. Curve. Up. We don't usually go up, do we?
Now dry the letter with the towel.
Only a few letters let us go up. Here we are with the towel. Down. Curve. Up.
Very good. Now try the letter with the chalk.
Okay. There's the try part. Down. Curve. Up.
Wonderful. Nice job.
And I got a star. If you use that app, you can get stars too. Okay. Now, I have this very, very worn out book to show you. Does it look familiar? We have the same book in the classroom, but the one in the classroom is newer and nicer The one I have at home, I had for my own kids, and they're big. So it's kind of an old book. Nadia's 17, so this book's almost as old as she is. Okay, it's called The Big Picture Storybook Bible, and I'm sure you all recognize it from school. We haven't read it in a while. I haven't read it on any of my videos yet, but I'd like us to keep going a little bit after the Easter story because we read a lot of books about Easter, didn't we? And now it's time. Oh, I should have found my page before I before this. Sorry. I'll find it. Ooh, that looks like a good story. Let's see. We'll go to the beginning of this one. Ooh, here we go. Yeah, good one. Okay. Now you know from this book that there's a certain amount of what it says in the words, and then there's lots more that it says in the pictures. I'm going to start on the last page of this one because it has to do with Easter. You can see Jesus and his friends all in a circle and all so happy. It says, the sadness they had felt was gone. Their hearts were glad again. Jesus was alive. Jesus really was alive. Jesus was risen from the dead. The sun had risen and it was a brand new day. So that's the end of the Easter story, right? And this next story is God's promise is explained. Here we go. Jesus' followers could hardly believe it. We have seen the Lord. They were full of joy, but they were not full of understanding. They could see Jesus with their eyes, but they could not see why he had to die and rise again. So Jesus opened up God's holy book. And you can see in the picture that they're big, long, unrolled pieces of paper, right? Because they didn't have books like we have them yet. They had the Bible on rolled up pieces of paper called scrolls. He opened up God's holy book that had been written long ago. He started with the books of Moses and then the prophets and the Psalms. He showed them everything that was written there about him. All of the parts of the Bible that were written before Jesus was even born still mentioned him. Like when God told Abraham that through him all the people of the world would be blessed. Well, it's because Jesus came from Abraham, and all the people in the world are blessed by Jesus. And in the parts about David, when it talked about God's forever king, that's Jesus. And here it's showing a lamb. Remember we talked about how people had to give a lamb to try to pay for their sins? Jesus is the ultimate lamb. He paid for all our sins. Yay, Jesus. So when we look through all those older parts of the Bible, they're talking about Jesus too. Let's see. In it were many word pictures that proved that Jesus must die to pay the penalty for sin. And these are all pictures reminding us that something or somebody had to die for sin, right? Like a big lamb or a sheep, there had to be blood. But Jesus shed his blood so that we don't have to die. Jesus did it for us. In it were many pictures that promised that Jesus would rise again. And we talked about Isaiah and what it means to be a prophet. God gave the prophets words to write down. And so they knew, like in our verse, for a child will be born to us. When Isaiah wrote that down, Jesus hadn't been born yet. But God told him to write it down because God knew his own plan, didn't he? Jesus' followers were amazed as they listened and as they read. Before they had said, "We have seen the Lord." But now they could read God's holy book and say, "Even here, especially here, we have seen the Lord." And that's wonderful for us because we still have the Bible. We can read the Bible and see the Lord just like they did. Jesus taught them carefully because he knew the day was coming when people would no longer see him with their eyes. They would read about him instead. He knew God's holy book would help other people to believe and say, "We have seen the Lord," and they too would be full of joy. That's us. Do you see the Lord? Painted on the pages of Israel's hard and happy history is the big picture of God's forever King. And look at all these pictures. Back when Adam and Eve first ate that piece of fruit they weren't supposed to, God told us that someday someone would come and stamp on the snake. That's Jesus. And back when God's people were wandering in the wilderness, there was promise of Jesus. Here, this reminds us of King David, and Jesus is God's forever King. And there's baby Jesus in a manger. There's Jesus on the cross. And there's Jesus risen from the dead and alive forever. Okay, there's another story, but we are running out of time. There's not a lot left in this book, so we will be able to finish before the end of the school year. Make sure you're practicing counting. Make sure you're practicing letters, not just how to say them. That's important. What they look like and what they sound like. Practice all of that. Tomorrow is you show and tell. So send me in pictures and videos of you doing you show and tell, and I will show you lots of things I find around my house for the letter U. U, let's sing it one last time. U says U says Every letter makes a sound. U says Okay, I love you. Oh, I want to talk to you all face to face. We'll see when we get to. It'll be sometime soon. Okay, bye-bye.